Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. My name is Eric and I'm glad you could join us. Today we're going to take a break from sausage making and talk about another popular ingredient that we seem to get a lot of questions about. Today we're going to talk about encapsulated citric acid, what it is, what it does, how it works, how to use it. And so hopefully by the end of this video I'll have all your questions answered and you'll know whether or not it's a right product for you to use. So let's just start off with the most basic of questions. What is encapsulated citric acid? Well, this particular ingredient is added to sausage recipes if you're looking for a distinctively tangy sausage. Sausages like snack sticks, pepperoni, and summer sausage are just a couple examples where they're known for their sourly quality. You see, in order to make a sausage sour, you have to acidify it. The pH has to get lower. Think about pickles or sauerkraut. And there's a couple ways to do that. One of the more old school ways to make a sausage sour is fermentation. People will take their sausage meat, put it into a casing, and then place it in an area that's conducive for fermentation. And after several days, the pH would have lowered, creating that nice tangy sausage. The problem with natural fermentation is that it takes several days and generally requires specific fermentation parameters, sometimes even a fermentation chamber. In theory, you could add an acid to make your sausage sour, like lemon juice or vinegar, but the problem with that is the moment you add an acid and the pH of your meat starts to drop too fast, you start to denature some of the proteins and it affects the way your sausage binds together. What you'll end up with is a sour sausage, but with a crumbly texture. And that brings us to encapsulated citric acid. Encapsulated citric acid is just regular citric acid that's been coated or encapsulated in a hydrogenated cottonseed oil. And that cottonseed oil plays an incredibly important function in this product. See, every single molecule of citric acid in this packet has that protective barrier of cottonseed oil. And in this state, it's actually a solid. So when you add it to your meat, that cottonseed oil prevents the citric acid from lowering the pH of your meat. And it isn't until your meat is cooked that that cottonseed oil will melt away, in essence, releasing that citric acid, lowering the pH at the very end of your sausage making production. So this gives you the benefit of having a sour sausage without having to ferment it or without having to worry about having a crumbly sausage. So what type of sausages does encapsulated citric acid work best in? Well, it really comes down to two criteria: tangy and cooked. If you want a tangy flavor in your cooked sausage, then this is an absolutely brilliant product to use. If you don't want a tangy flavor, you won't use this. If you don't plan on cooking your sausage, you won't use this. So this is going to be used in cooked sausages where you want a distinctively tangy flavor. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about how to use encapsulated citric acid. And this is actually a fairly easy product to use in your recipes as long as you can follow a couple very simple steps. Number one is storage. You're going to want to store this when it's not in use in a cool, dark place. We don't want to do anything to mess up that cottonseed oil covering around the citric acid. And so you certainly don't want to keep it in an area that gets very, very hot. So store it in a cool, dark place. You're going to be good to go. When it comes to adding encapsulated citric acid to your recipe, you're going to add between 0.75% and 1% of the weight of your meat and fat in encapsulated citric acid. And really, it's more of a personal preference. If you want your sausage to be more tangy, you'll add 1%. And as soon as you start playing with this ingredient, you'll have a better idea of what you like, and then you can adjust the quantities as you see fit. Another thing to remember when adding this to a recipe is that the cottonseed oil coating, that encapsulation, is relatively fragile, and too much agitation can break that coating, causing the citric acid to be released prematurely. So when it comes to adding encapsulated citric acid, this is going to be the very last ingredient that you add. You're always going to add it by itself and at the very end of the process. Matter of fact, this will be added during the final 30 or 60 seconds of you mixing your sausage meat, and really you're just trying to incorporate those citric acid molecules. What I like to do is mix all of my ingredients except the encapsulated citric acid into my sausage meat, and I'll mix it until it gets nice and sticky. You know, when you grab a little handful and it sticks to the underside of your hand. Once I get to that stage, I'll add the appropriate amount of encapsulated citric acid, and I'll just mix for another 30 seconds. And that just ensures that the product doesn't get overmixed and that the encapsulation doesn't break. The next thing you want to know about encapsulated citric acid is that if you're going to use this in a recipe, you're going to cook that sausage the same day that you make it. This isn't something that you're going to let rest in the refrigerator overnight. We don't want to do anything to risk that encapsulation breaking. And so the same day that you mix it, you're going to stuff it into its casing and then you're going to cook it, which brings me to the very last thing you need to know about ECA. When you cook it, you need to bring the internal temperature of your sausage to at least 150 degrees Fahrenheit. That's going to melt that cottonseed oil coating. It's going to release that citric acid, lowering the pH. And by the time all this happens, your sausage is already cooked, it's already perfectly bound together, so you're going to get the benefit of those sourly flavors without any loss of texture. There you have it, encapsulated citric acid. I hope I've answered all your questions. I buy mine from the sausage maker, and I'll put a link in the description box below in case you want to read up more about it or in case you want to get some for yourself. This is really a great product. It helps you achieve shelf stability. It helps you get that nice tangy flavor without all the fermentation fuss, and I definitely recommend it if you're into tangy cooked sausages. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And if you found this video to be informative or entertaining in any way, a great big thumbs up is always appreciated. If you're new to our channel and this is the first video that you've seen from us, we'd like to say welcome. Take a moment, click that subscribe button and that notification bell. We're in the middle of a daily upload through the month of October as we feature a new sausage making video every day this month. I don't want you to miss a single episode. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.